The final tally of objectors who submitted proof of ownership was 1,445. That's 0.00038% of 3.8 million. Also funny how the last name on the list is Andrew Han of Ursa, the guy with 11.3 million puts on AMC. What is going on, guys? Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, today we have a lot of stuff to go over with AMC, so make sure to watch until the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Without further ado, hit the like button, engage the algorithm, get this video out to more apes like you guys, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So a very small percentage of shareholders in AMC as a company on the final tally of objectors was Andrew Han of Ursa, the guy with 11.3 million AMC puts as well. So basically, short the company is someone who is objecting majorly, which makes you think, do short sellers not want the conversion and reverse split to happen? Is this going to change the QSIP? Is this going to force naked shorts to cover? Which is a debate everybody has had all the way until this time being. We've made a video about it. I want to talk about it a little bit in 1 second. But Conspiracy Central says 11 out of 13 objectors didn't show up because they were bribed. How do you think this makes the good folks feel? In fact, doesn't this make you think whoever pulled the fire alarm was also bribed and or worried about the conversion and reverse split happening? Now, a lot of people have asked me this question, and I want to read this tweet to you and go over it. AMC is a win-win investment. Either it squeezes soon after conversion and reverse split due to a new QSIP ID and forced naked short closures, along with the stock being close to a 52-week low where shorts can close out for profit or long-term as the company raises cash and expands. Now, people ask me all the time, Lottery Stocks, what do you think about the reverse split and the conversion? What are your thoughts on it? I already disclosed in a video I did vote no, but at this point it doesn't matter what I voted, and I also want you to know there are two outcomes to this. We either squeeze after the conversion due to the reverse split and force naked short covering, which is not a guaranteed thing that is going to happen, but it's also not a non-guarantee. So the people pushing, oh, that won't happen, they're just bitching, and the people pushing that will happen, they're just spreading hopium. Okay, I'm right in the middle, smack dab in the middle. This is one thing that could happen, especially since you're seeing these objectors come through and these people that are potentially bribed that own a ton more puts on the company than actually gone long are basically saying, listen, don't let this thing happen. Don't let the reverse split conversion go through. This very well could be the case. And the other side of things, the company's going to grow long term as it raises cash and expands. This is the other side of the book if it doesn't squeeze after the reverse split and the conversion. Those are the two outcomes. Now, just a quick update. Zern said she will not make a decision at least for a week, but this is a good thing to hear, as she's not saying, listen, at least 90 days until I make a decision. She's saying just give me at least a week, okay? I need to question these people. I need to get my head straight, and I need to get the facts straight. Now, AMC is still on the threshold securities list. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this because it doesn't really mean much, because they can just wipe it off. We saw them do it with Ape. We saw them do it with AMC after we were on the threshold securities list for well over 13 days. We saw them do it with GameStop after we were on the threshold securities list over like 20-something days, 28 days. So it's not something insane to pay attention to, but AMC and C3AI are still on the threshold securities list. And in my opinion, AMC is being pressed down hard, and that is one reason you're going to see this stay on the threshold securities list, at least temporarily, because they are pushing it into the floor, finding a low before we get the rip, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. Short interest, 23.62% for AMC, utilization at 91%, and the cost to borrow dropped significantly from 1,000% reported yesterday to 8.26% for an average and 8.26% for a max. Now, Stock Tracker is reporting 0 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 197%, though, at 5,000 shares that were borrowed. Also, the options chain for expiration July 21st is a major options chain for the call and put side of things. A little bit weighted on the put side of things of about almost 1 million contracts versus the 500,000 about call contracts. But if this does go one way or the other, we could see a nasty gamma ramp. Will they let that happen? They're probably going to attempt to not let it happen. However, if the reverse split and conversion goes through, we can't really tell what is going to happen. But you can see recently short exempts 500,000 on AMC. I can scroll down the list. You don't see that. You don't see that anytime. 500,000 on June 28th. I don't even think we had that much volume. They're trying to keep this down as much as possible. And then following the 29th, 235,000 short exempts. This is the last push to get it down, as you've seen. This other 500,000 day on the 22nd was probably when you saw a gap down. You also saw the largest short percent we saw traded, 71.1%, and all the way down this list, it was not the same. Okay, what's different here is the short exempts that hit 500,000 on the 28th was only 59.8% for the short percent over on the Stonko tracker. Now GameStop, the options chain is looking solid. It's looking beautiful, and the chart looks good. The volume increase on the rise, as well as the S&P 500. I don't know if we're gonna have time to go over all of the charts today, or at least in this video, but short exempts stacked on GameStop as well on the 29th, 41,000. They are trying to hold these in a spot that they have been over the past couple of years. So when people say this parallel channel to the downside is not manipulated price action and they're not an AMC and they talk shit about it, there's just proof day in and day out that it is, right? The on-balance volume stays flat, but the chart goes like this, and you see short exempts stack up. The threshold securities list more than any other stock, fills to delivers more than any other stock, and this is just where we stand currently. Now, before we move on, a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Visual Sectors. Visual Sectors is a platform that processes options data and finds accumulations and patterns for you, and they found that it works particularly well between the 2 to 12 week time frames. They take the metrics, the Greeks, and the expiration of the options contracts. They can predict strong levels and strong trades for you, especially in the medium time frame. You can also switch time frames based on the expiration date that you would like. You can even click previous on their website to see how the data previously performed. Their SPY data, the overall stock market, was extremely precise, and even stocks with very little trading volume still had a 72% win rate. If you guys don't see yourself making your option predictions accurately, make sure to sign up for Visual Sectors. The link is in the top of the description as well as the comments down below. Thank you, Visual Sectors, for sponsoring today's video. Now, hedge fund Andaran loses $1 billion, which is majority of the entire fund lost after they were sure oil prices would soar in 2023. They placed massive bets. Now the fund faces an existential crisis. Not only that, hedge funds have never been more bearish on US banks, not even when the bank crisis was worse. In fact, now they are more bearish than ever on US banks, and Bank of America equity strategist says that she is taking the most bullish position in 10 years. However, she has not really good of a track record at 50%, and her average return is at 7%. In fact, she's stating this after a 20% plus rally, which just shows that they are trying to profit off of putting out false stuff, retail jumping in, and then them taking that profit off the table and having retail lose money. Not only that, but this is kind of ironic since Bank of America is facing $100 billion in paper losses in the bond market, according to FT. These losses are reportedly due to the interest rate increases, which is the same reason Silicon Valley and First Republic Bank collapsed. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Plus, according to the Fed, in its annual stress test, big banks could lose a whopping $541 billion. Now, this isn't no sprinkle on top, all right? This is a lot of fucking money, and this is coming from the Fed itself. So don't think that just because the banking crisis isn't being covered by MSM, isn't being covered by the news anymore, that it's over with, right? It's happening in the background. And in fact, what's trending right now over on these articles is the AMC lawsuit. It's trending on Twitter. It's trending on the articles. It's trending on broker platforms. Everybody is looking at it. So expect volatility to come as soon as there's a response for this lawsuit. Not only that, but this could trigger the volume that we have needed over the past couple of years to actually get pushed into AMC. Keep tweeting about it, keep spreading the word, keep getting the voice out, keep getting your voices heard. And just to close out the video, the SEC says BlackRock and Fidelity ETF filings are inadequate. But this isn't as much of a huge deal as we think, as the SEC told the exchanges that it returned the filings today because they didn't name the spot Bitcoin exchange with which they are expected to have a surveillance sharing agreement or provide enough information about the details of those surveillance agreements. Asset managers can update the language and refile. A CBOE spokesman said it plans to update and refile. NASDAQ and the SEC declined to comment. Basically, the SEC says, yo, we can't really pass this yet, but just do this and refile. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you so far for today's video. If you enjoyed the video or found value out of the video, make sure to hit the like button on your way out, share the video, check the links down below, sign up for Visual Sectors. Also, pop in the Discord. That link is under the video as well. Plus, if you want free stocks and a ton of other benefits, link for Moomoo is under the video as well. That's what I got for you. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.